Hello everyone and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Molly and Cody's rooftop disaster. Jason arrested. According to the Thursday, February 13th General Hospital spoilers, Molly Lansing Davis and Cody Bell had a rooftop incident, and Jason Morgan was jailed. Let's discuss the entire Thursday GH action since Sasha Gilmore Corbin's trick also backfired. Elaine Smith talked to Sasha outside Bobby's after Mavis the dog came up to her. Elaine persuaded Sasha to acknowledge that her due date was July 23rd after describing how Mavis was attracted to expectant mothers. Before joining Felicia Scorpio and sharing the Mavis story, Sasha had a pleasant conversation with Elaine. Felicia revealed that she was acquainted with Mavis's owner, Elaine, a private investigator who utilized her puppy as a diversion. Sasha called the PI's office to find out where Elaine was after Felicia indicated that she was old school and stored all of her information in a small notepad. When Elaine brought up Sasha's pregnancy to Martin Gray in the park, he assumed Jason was the biological father. Nevertheless, Elaine believed that Sasha must be privy to all the gossip while the Quartermaine cook, and that she might be useful in obtaining leverage for Michael Corinthos. Sasha later went looking for Elaine and acted as though they were meeting for the first time. Sasha purposefully let Mavis off the leash when Elaine answered Martin's phone call. As Sasha took her small PI notepad from her purse, Elaine was compelled to chase after Mavis. Sasha apparently heard Elaine being struck by a car, so she was horrified when Elaine's dog pursuit came to an end. After Jason's session with the cardiologist, Sonny Corinthos provided him with updates at Bobby's. Sonny understood he needed to minimize stress because he was postponing his heart surgery until he could fit the recuperation period into his schedule. Jason was arrested after being reprimanded by Anna Devane for openly threatening Cyrus Renault after being called to the PCPD. Christina Corinthos Davis informed Alexis Davis in her office about Danny Morgan's confrontation with Cyrus prior to Jason's intervention. Dante Falconeri joined Christina and Alexis after Anna kicked him out of the police station and reminded him once more to get off the probe. After hearing it from a reliable buddy, Dante acknowledged that there was some merit to Cyrus being the PCPD's top suspect. Dante also acknowledged that Danny overheard him. Now that Jason thought Cyrus was to blame, Christina predicted that she would be shocked if he stayed for a week. In the end, Alexis concluded that she had to speak with Jason. As for Harrison Chase, he acknowledged to Anna that he broke protocol and notified Dante about Cyrus being under suspicion. Before asking Elizabeth Baldwin about Jason threatening Cyrus at Charlie's pub, Chase received a stern reprimand from Anna. Even though Chase was clearly skeptical, Liz stepped in for Jason and said she didn't hear anything. Nina Reeves claimed that while in Ava's apartment, she nearly told Willow Corinthos about her liaisons with Drew Quartermaine. But Willow began to express all the things Nina had wished to hear, including how she couldn't accomplish any of this without her mother. Ava realized that at this moment, Willow needed her mother more than the truth. Ava almost told Nina that she was involved with Rick Lansing when he appeared. Nina left them to talk about the custody drama after Rick interrupted Ava before she could say anything further. Rick said that this was done to safeguard her case and his capacity to represent her when Ava privately questioned whether he was ashamed of their romance. Nina took a seat at Sonny's table at Bobby's while Rick and Ava planned. Nina emphasized the value of acting in Wiley and Amelia Corinthos' best interests, even though Sonny knew that everyone she was close to was against him. When Sonny began beating on the door at Ava's house, she was kissing Rick passionately. Cody tried to apologize to Molly for his earlier behavior after she had scored some paperwork at the nurse's desk. Molly was eager to get out, but Cody persisted in urging her to stay and listen to him. In the end, Cody followed Molly to the roof, where he left them locked and opened the door. Molly initially blamed Cody, but she later acknowledged that since she let the door to close first, she would have been stuck anyhow. Molly also admitted to utilizing her position with the ADA to obtain records that she was not authorized to have, implying that this was the reason she was concealing. According to General Hospital spoilers, Cody and Molly may be on the verge of a true romance, so keep an eye out for any significant romantic developments. Nina tells Sonny Ava's hot secret. According to Thursday, February 13th General Hospital spoilers, Elizabeth Baldwin will be questioned by Jason Morgan, and Ava Jerome will maintain a scandalous secret. There will be a lot going on in Port Charles since Nina Reeves will also express her thoughts to Sonny Corinthos. It appears that he will give clues about maintaining their involvement, a secret when Ava and Rick Lansing hook up. Rick's wish for confidentiality will surprise Ava, but since he is still her attorney, he might believe it's the appropriate decision. She will express her feelings to Nina and give Sonny something to ponder. Nina might agree with Natalia Ramirez that Avery Corinthos would benefit from a custody compromise. Sonny will also be aware that it would benefit his stress level, which must be reduced while he strives to safeguard his heart. After Sonny's doctor's appointment, Jason will be there to encourage him and help in any way he can. The most recent Cyrus Renault events, together with some impending information regarding Jen Sidwell's increasing threat, may cause Sonny to return to some chaos. Harrison Chase will subject Elizabeth to a difficult interrogation, according to other GH spoilers. When Chase questions Liz, will she acknowledge that she was there when Jason endangered Cyrus' life at Charlie's pub? Elizabeth will probably say she was too far away to hear the details and cover for Jason for a little while. Liz will attempt to calm Rick's anxiety once he catches up with her. Elizabeth might pledge to remain vigilant in spite of Rick's persistent worries about Cyrus. We'll see if Chase's confession on Thursday's GH episode has anything to do with the Cyrus probe or if it's something more personal. It's probable that Chase will confide in someone about his inability to conceive Brooke Lynn Quartermaine. Anna Devane will issue a severe warning to Dante Falconeri. When Dante's week of leave is up, Anna will tell him to butt out right now if he still wants to come back as a detective. Then when calamity occurs, Molly Lansing Davis will blame someone. He might wind up on Molly's wrong side because we know that she and Cody Bell are going to have a heated confrontation. After they find themselves in a difficult situation together, Cody may find a way to make amends to Molly because he will finally apologize. She might be shocked if Sasha Gilmore Corbin spies Molly and Cody getting together. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Sasha is going to be dealt a curveball, so keep checking back for more information. Last but not least, Christina Corinthos Davis will confide in Alexis Davis about her worries regarding Danny Morgan after his confrontation with Cyrus. According to our predictions, Alexis will call Jason and caution him against acting in a way that would kill Cyrus after learning of his sinister declaration. Mother's revenge, popsicle pear, and concerning questions. Friday, February 14th. General Hospital spoilers and updates hint to a mother's retaliation, a pair of popsicles, and troubling questions. Alexis Davis clearly wants retribution. Molly Lansing Davis and Cody Bell are becoming popsicles, and Brooke Lynn Chase has troubling questions. Concerning inquiries. With a tone that leaves no room for doubt, Brooke Lynn is asking Maxie Jones at Deception Cosmetics a litany of urgent questions. She insists on knowing whether Maxie intends to support Lulu Spencer indefinitely. This question goes right to the core of the issue, particularly in light of Lulu's recent behavior that has drawn criticism. Lulu is supposed to be Brooke Lynn's assistant, but it doesn't seem like that arrangement has worked out well. Brooke Lynn appears to have a long list of complaints about Lulu's performance, but Maxie still avoids taking responsibility for it. Unexpected arrival. Surrounded by papers, Christina Corinthos Davis is busy sorting through the liquor inventory behind the bar at Charlie's pub, when Lulu unexpectedly catches her off unprepared. Lulu, a little anxious, says she hopes her visit is well received. Christina used to be Lulu's sister-in-law when she was married to Dante Falconeri. Tensions are now rising because her brother Lucky Spencer works as a bartender there. According to spoilers, Christina will be enraged and a fierce altercation is imminent. A pair of popsicles. While stuck on the hospital roof, Cody and Molly appear to be transforming into a pair of popsicles, frantically attempting to get someone's notice so they can be allowed back inside. Molly told Cody that she is afraid of being caught, and that she got private documents from the DA's office that she shouldn't have. Molly's determination to get the truth about Sam McCall's murder is evident, but Cody is left wondering what she thinks she can do that the police can't. But if they give in to the bitter cold up there, it will all be for nothing. Ironically, because the cameras are not on, nobody has noticed a crucial detail: the killer's way of getting into and out of the hospital. Waiting and worrying. Sasha Corbin holds Elaine Smith's cute tiny dog, Mavis, in an effort to calm the nervous puppy in a separate hospital wing. As a cunning diversion, she had unhooked Mavis from her leash in the hopes of catching a glimpse of what was in Elaine's notebook, which was hidden in her pocketbook. Elaine had just been hit by a car after rushing to get Mavis after receiving a call from Martin Gray. Mavis worries nervously while Sasha reassures her and apologizes for the chaos. Will Elaine survive? Or is Sasha unintentionally on the verge of becoming a dog mom? Mother's retaliation. While speaking with Jason Morgan, who was recently arrested for threatening Cyrus Renault's life, Alexis is sitting in the PCPD, her emotions erupting. Her rage is evident, and it's obvious that her remarks are poisonous and aimed at Cyrus. Cyrus is a main suspect in the killings of Sam McCall, Dex Heller, and another patient, Dante Falconeri recently told her. Alexis seems to be seeking lethal retribution on Cyrus, based on the intensity of her voice. Is she implying that she is planning a hit with Jason? She declares that she wants Cyrus to never see her face again as she leans in close, her eyes angry. Jason's face changes to one of worry as he realizes how serious her inference is. Let's work out a deal. Sonny Corinthos visited Ava Jerome at her new apartment to address a critical matter: the custody dispute between Avery Jerome and Corinthos. Sonny warned Ava that she would lose in court if she didn't strike a bargain right away. Both parents want sole custody of their daughter, because the joint custody arrangement is no longer workable. A return to their previous agreement seems unattainable because of the weight of the past, particularly in light of Ava's role in the circumstances preceding Christina's tragedy. Given the unanswered mystery surrounding the bombing at Sonny's apartment, Ava is certain that it would be too dangerous for Avery to remain with him. Does Cyrus want to set up Jason Morgan for murder at Austin's house? In PC and beyond, things aren't always as they appear, according to General Hospital spoilers. For example, Cyrus Renault was apprehended in the Powtuck cabin of Austin Gatlin Holt. That was an unexpected shot, and fans are now speculating wildly about this oddity. Here is everything you need to know about one of the more bizarre rumors involving Stone Cold Jason Morgan. Cyrus's frame-up of Jason? Austin has a connection to Cyrus, a cold-blooded killer who paid for his tuition at medical school. Without asking, Austin performed Cyrus grunt tasks in return, including patching up villains. Austin was brutally slain as he attempted to wriggle out from under the villain's control, and the crime is still unsolved. Is Austin still alive? Is Austin really still alive and doing well? Austin might have easily staged his death because he was a doctor. It's possible that Cyrus is manipulating Jason, and will set him up for the murder. This week, Jason, who has been a burr in his saddle for years, threatened the ponytailed priest. Jason is among the many people who think Cyrus is the person who killed Digitalis. The man had his hand on Danny Morgan, who also thinks Cyrus is a murderer, when he confronted him at Charlie's pub. It is possible that Cyrus will frame Jason for Austin's murder, even if he is not alive. How handy. Could Cyrus set Jason Morgan up for murder? There are problems with Cyrus framing Jason for Austin's murder. However, it would be more spicily done. The primary reason is that Howarth has played several parts on GH, and the program hasn't expressed any interest in having him return. According to Rebecca Herbst, fans have a significant influence on what occurs on the show, and Austin was a contentious character who never really took off. Cyrus is at Austin's house to set up Jason Morgan for murder. A deep dive into the conspiracy. In the world of General Hospital, where betrayals and deceptions lurk around every corner, one name continues to strike fear into the hearts of Port Charles residents: Cyrus Renault. The cunning and ruthless drug kingpin has never been one to shy away from using manipulation and violence to achieve his goals. Now, with his latest plot involving Austin Gatlin Holt, Cyrus has set his sights on none other than Jason Morgan. But what exactly is going on at Austin's house? How does Cyrus plan to frame Jason for murder? Let's delve into this intricate web of deceit and danger. Cyrus Renault, the master manipulator. Cyrus Renault has always been a calculating villain, using his intellect and resources to control people and situations. His return to the canvas has reignited old rivalries and tensions, particularly with Sonny Corinthos and Jason Morgan. Given Jason's reputation as Sonny's right-hand man and a formidable enforcer, it's no surprise that Cyrus would want to eliminate him. However, rather than facing him head-on, Cyrus prefers to work from the shadows, using others as pawns in his twisted game. One such pawn appears to be Austin Gatlin Holt. Austin, despite his medical background, has found himself entangled in the criminal underworld due to his past associations and vulnerabilities. Now, with Cyrus pulling the strings, Austin's house becomes the stage for a dangerous setup that could change Jason's life forever. Austin Gatlin Holt. A reluctant accomplice? Austin Gatlin Holt has always walked a fine line between being a dedicated doctor and someone who occasionally finds himself in murky situations. His connection to Mason Gatlin and, by extension, Cyrus Renault has put him in a precarious position. Though he may not be a willing participant in this deadly game, Austin has found himself cornered by the powerful crime lord. Cyrus likely sees Austin as the perfect fall guy to lure Jason into a trap. If Austin resists, Cyrus could easily use threats against his loved ones to ensure compliance. The question remains: what role does Austin play in the setup? Is he merely providing a location for the crime? Or is he being forced to take a more active part in framing Jason? The setup: how Jason Morgan becomes the prime suspect. Jason Morgan has been through his fair share of legal troubles, but this time, the setup could be more airtight than ever before. Here's how Cyrus's plan might unfold. 1. Luring Jason to Austin's house. Cyrus knows that Jason wouldn't just walk into a trap without good reason. To get him to Austin's house, there needs to be a strong incentive. This could be a distress call from Austin himself, claiming he's in danger, or a fabricated emergency that Jason feels compelled to investigate. Given Jason's protective nature, he wouldn't ignore a call for help, especially if he believed someone's life was at stake. 2. A carefully staged murder. To frame Jason, there has to be a murder that implicates him directly. It's possible that Cyrus will orchestrate the killing of someone with ties to either Jason or Sonny, ensuring that Jason has a clear motive. The murder weapon could be something that traces back to Jason, or perhaps forensic evidence will be manipulated to make it look like he pulled the trigger. 3. Planting evidence. Cyrus is no amateur when it comes to setting people up. He may plant DNA, fingerprints, or even a fake witness who claims to have seen Jason commit the crime. Surveillance footage can also be doctored, showing Jason at the crime scene when he was nowhere near it. The key is to make it so airtight that even Jason's most loyal allies struggle to refute the evidence. 4. Calling in the authorities at the right moment. Once the murder has been committed and all the evidence points to Jason, Cyrus will ensure the police arrive at just the right moment. Perhaps Jordan Ashford or Dante Falconeri receives an anonymous tip leading them straight to Austin's house. By the time they arrive, Jason may be standing over the body, making him look guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Who is the intended victim? While framing Jason is the ultimate goal, a key question remains. Who is the person Cyrus intends to sacrifice for this setup? There are a few possibilities. Mason Gatlin. Given Mason's role in Austin's life and his connection to Cyrus, he could be considered expendable. If Mason is seen as a liability or has outlived his usefulness, Cyrus could kill him and blame Jason for it. A corrupt law enforcement official. If Cyrus is looking to make an even bigger impact, he could target someone within the police department who has been working against him. This would not only frame Jason but also send a message to those who oppose him. A close ally of Sonny or Jason. Killing someone close to Jason such as Brick, Spinelli, or even Dex would add an emotional layer to the setup, making Jason look even more guilty in the eyes of the law. Jason Morgan's next move. Jason is no stranger to being framed for crimes he didn't commit, but this time the stakes are incredibly high. With Cyrus pulling the strings, Jason will need to be smarter and faster than ever before to clear his name. 1. Gathering evidence to prove his innocence. Jason will need help from his closest allies, including Sonny Corinthos, Carly Spencer, and Diane Miller, to uncover the truth. If Austin is still alive, he could become a key witness to prove that Cyrus orchestrated everything. 2. Tracking down the real culprit. To exonerate himself, Jason must find the actual murderer. This means investigating Cyrus's recent moves, following his associates, and finding any weak links in his operation. If he can locate someone who was involved in the setup, he may be able to turn them against Cyrus. 3. Confronting Cyrus head-on. Jason isn't one to sit back while his enemies destroy his life. Once he gathers enough evidence, a direct confrontation with Cyrus may be inevitable. However, given how dangerous Cyrus is, Jason must tread carefully to avoid falling into yet another trap. The fallout. How will this affect Port Charles? If Cyrus succeeds in framing Jason, the fallout could be catastrophic. Sunny will undoubtedly go to war to clear Jason's name, leading to an all-out battle between two of the most powerful forces in Port Charles. Carly will be devastated, and the entire town will be caught in the crossfire. On the other hand, if Jason manages to expose Cyrus's plot, it could mark the beginning of Cyrus's downfall. The truth coming out could send shockwaves through the criminal underworld, changing alliances and power dynamics in ways no one saw coming. Final thoughts. Cyrus Renault's latest scheme to frame Jason Morgan for murder is a testament to his ruthless nature. By using Austin's house as the setting for his elaborate setup, he has created a near-perfect trap that could send Jason away for life. However, Jason is not one to go down without a fight. As the battle for justice unfolds, Port Charles will once again be thrown into chaos. The question remains, will Jason clear his name before it's too late, or has Cyrus finally outmaneuvered him? One thing is certain, this storyline is far from over. Ava's hot secret Nina spills to Sunny. The sun was setting over Port Charles, casting a golden glow over the city's skyline. Inside the dimly lit confines of Charlie's pub, the air was thick with tension. Nina Reeves sat at the bar, her fingers nervously tracing the rim of her glass. She had been carrying a secret for weeks, one that threatened to unravel the fragile peace in her life and the lives of those around her. Across the room, Sonny Corinthos sat in his usual booth, his sharp eyes scanning the room as he sipped his bourbon. He was a man who commanded respect, a man who had seen it all, or so he thought. Nina took a deep breath, her heart pounding in her chest. She had promised herself she wouldn't do this, that she would keep Ava Jerome's secret buried. But the weight of it was too much to bear. Ava's hot secret wasn't just a piece of gossip. It was a bombshell that could destroy relationships, alliances, and lives. And Nina, despite her better judgment, had decided that Sunny needed to know. She stood up, her heels clicking against the floor as she made her way to his table. Sunny looked up, his expression unreadable. "Nina," he said, his voice calm but laced with curiosity. "What brings you here?" "We need to talk," Nina replied, her voice trembling slightly. She slid into the booth across from him, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. "It's about Ava." Sunny's eyes narrowed. Ava Jerome was a name that always stirred up complicated emotions for him. Their history was a tangled web of love, betrayal, and mutual respect. "What about her?" he asked, his tone cautious. Nina hesitated, her mind racing. Once she said the words, there would be no turning back. But she couldn't keep it to herself any longer. "Ava's been keeping a secret," she began, her voice low. "A big one. And I think you deserve to know the truth." Sunny leaned back in his seat, his gaze never leaving hers. "Go on." Nina took another deep breath, her resolve hardening. "Ava's been working with someone behind your back. Someone dangerous. She's been feeding them information about your business, your family, everything. And it's not just about money or power. It's personal." Sunny's jaw tightened, but he remained silent, allowing Nina to continue. "She's been in contact with Cyrus Renault," Nina revealed, her voice barely above a whisper. "And they've been planning something big. Something that could take you down for good." The mention of Cyrus Renault sent a chill through Sunny. Cyrus was his nemesis, a man who had tried to destroy him time and time again. The idea that Ava, of all people, was working with him was almost too much to comprehend. But Sunny wasn't one to jump to conclusions. He needed proof. "How do you know this?" he asked, his voice steady but cold. Nina looked down at her hands, guilt flickering across her face. "I overheard them talking. Ava didn't know I was there. She was meeting him at the Metro Court in one of the private rooms. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I couldn't help but hear what they were saying." Sunny's mind was racing. If what Nina was saying was true, then Ava had betrayed him in the worst possible way. But he couldn't ignore the possibility that Nina had her own reasons for telling him this. She and Ava had never been close, and there was no love lost between them. "Why are you telling me this?" he asked, his eyes searching hers for any hint of deception. Nina met his gaze, her expression earnest. "Because I care about you, Sunny. And I care about this town. What Ava's doing. It's not just about you. It's about everyone. If Cyrus gains the upper hand, no one will be safe. I couldn't stand by and let that happen." Sunny nodded slowly, his mind already working through the implications of what Nina had told him. If Ava was indeed working with Cyrus, then he needed to act fast. But he also needed to be sure. He couldn't afford to make a mistake, not with so much at stake. I appreciate you coming to me, he said finally. But I need to verify this for myself. If Ava's involved with Cyrus, I'll handle it. But if this turns out to be some kind of misunderstanding, there will be consequences. Nina swallowed hard, nodding. I understand. I couldn't keep it to myself any longer. Sonny stood up, signaling the end of their conversation. I'll be in touch, he said, his tone leaving no room for argument. He turned and walked out of the bar, his mind already focused on the next steps. Nina watched him go, a mix of relief and anxiety washing over her. She had done what she felt was right, but she couldn't shake the feeling that she had just set off a chain reaction that would change everything. The fallout. The next few days were a whirlwind of tension and suspicion. Sonny wasted no time in investigating Nina's claims. He had his people dig into Ava's recent activities, looking for any evidence of her involvement with Cyrus. What they found was damning. Phone records, financial transactions, and eyewitness accounts all pointed to one conclusion. Ava was indeed working with Cyrus Renault. Sonny was furious. He had trusted Ava, had even considered her an ally. But now it was clear that she had been playing him all along. He confronted her at her art gallery, his anger barely contained. Care to explain this? He demanded, slamming a folder of evidence down on her desk. Ava looked up, her expression calm but wary. Explain what? She asked, though she already knew what was coming. Don't play dumb with me, Ava, Sonny snapped. I know about you and Cyrus. I know what you've been up to. And I want to know why. Ava sighed, leaning back in her chair. It's not what you think, Sonny. Then tell me what it is, he shot back. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you've been stabbing me in the back. Ava stood up, her own anger starting to surface. You think this is about you? This is about survival, Sonny. Cyrus came to me with an offer I couldn't refuse. He has something on me, something that could ruin my life. I didn't have a choice. Sonny's eyes narrowed. There's always a choice, Ava. You could have come to me. We could have figured something out together. Ava laughed bitterly. Come to you? You think you're the only one with problems, Sonny? You think you're the only one who's ever had to make tough decisions? I did what I had to do to protect myself. And if that means working with Cyrus, then so be it. Sonny shook his head, disgusted. You've made your bed, Ava. Now you'll have to lie in it. But don't think for a second that I'm going to let you get away with this. Ava's eyes flashed with defiance. Do your worst, Sonny. But remember, I'm not the only one with secrets. The tension between them was palpable, the air thick with unspoken threats. But before either of them could say another word, Sonny's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, his expression darkening. This isn't over, he said, turning on his heel and walking out. Ava watched him go, her heart racing. She knew she had crossed a line, but she also knew that she couldn't back down now. She had to see this through no matter the cost. Nina's dilemma. Meanwhile, Nina was grappling with her own guilt. She had told Sonny the truth, but she couldn't shake the feeling that she had made a mistake. Ava was dangerous, and now that Sonny knew her secret, there was no telling what he might do. Nina had wanted to protect him, but she hadn't considered the consequences of her actions. She confided in her closest friend, Maxie Jones, over coffee at Kelly's. I didn't know what else to do, Nina admitted, her voice filled with regret. I thought I was doing the right thing, but now I'm not so sure. Maxie sighed, reaching across the table to squeeze Nina's hand. You were in a tough spot, Nina, but you can't beat yourself up over it. What's done is done. Now you just have to deal with the fallout. Nina nodded, but she couldn't shake the feeling of dread that had settled in her stomach. She had set something in motion and there was no going back. The aftermath. As the days turned into weeks, the tension in Port Charles reached a boiling point. Sonny and Ava were locked in a dangerous game of cat and mouse, each one trying to outmaneuver the other. Cyrus, meanwhile, was enjoying the chaos, using it to his advantage as he tightened his grip on the city. Nina found herself caught in the middle, her loyalty to Sonny and her fear of Ava pulling her in opposite directions. She knew that she had to make a choice, but no matter what she did, someone was going to get hurt. In the end, it was Ava who made the first move. She confronted Nina at the metro court, her eyes blazing with anger. "You think you can just spill my secrets and walk away?" she demanded, her voice low and dangerous. Nina stood her ground, though her heart was pounding. "I did what I had to do, Ava. You brought this on yourself." Ava's lips curled into a cold smile. "You're going to regret this, Nina. Mark my words." And with that, she turned and walked away, leaving Nina to wonder what she had just unleashed. Conclusion. The revelation of Ava's hot secret had set off a chain reaction that would change the lives of everyone involved. Sunny was more determined than ever to take down Cyrus and anyone who stood in his way. Ava, meanwhile, was fighting for her survival, willing to do whatever it took to come out on top. And Nina, caught in the middle, was left to deal with the consequences of her actions. In the world of Port Charles, secrets were a dangerous currency, and betrayal was always just around the corner. As the dust settled, one thing was clear. Nothing would ever be the same again.